Hello guys, welcome again to another episode of Pinoy in Australia. Today what we're going to do is we're going to troubleshoot this Nissan X-Trail 2006 year model. So the problem of this Nissan X-Trail is the vehicle doesn't crack and it doesn't start. So no crank, no start. So okay guys, let's start by scanning the vehicle. Okay guys, I have the key right now, so let's try whether this vehicle will start right now. Okay, turn it on. So see, all the lights in the dashboard turns on. So let me start it. So now start guys. I don't know whether you can hear the clicking in the engine bay. So my suspicion is we have issue with the starter. So but first let's scan first the vehicle. Okay. So okay, let's auto bin, read the auto bin. So it won't read the vehicle. So let's go to manual selection. Let's go to Asia. Listen. Let's try this one. Okay. So let's check the bin number, guys. Okay, guys. Let's identify the vehicle. As far as I know, this is the right bin number. Okay. Red. Okay. So it's full again, guys. So let's try it in different way. So manual selection. So Oceania, Australia. Um, yep, X-Trail T30 2006. So X-Trail T30. Okay, yes. So let's scan, diagnose. control unit, engine, so our battery is a little bit low, guys, because this vehicle had been sitting in this driveway for I think 2 weeks. Let's read codes. No faults detected, so there's no fault, guys. So I think we have problem with the starter. So let's go to active test. Let's see whether this is a bi-directional function for the starter. So only fuel injection, engine coolant, purge valve, assign variable time assign, inhale, fuel pump, ignition timing, cooling pan, bias, fire balance. So nothing here on the engine. Let's go to special update function. And done. So nothing. So 3 BCM. So this is I think the reason why it won't communicate, because the vehicle is not equipped with the BCM. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to manually diagnose this one. So at this moment the scan tool is not helpful, guys, so we need to use the multi-tester, test light, or the power probe to diagnose this problem, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to use my power probe to diagnose this trouble. So this power probe is very powerful diagnostic tools, guys. Okay, guys, the wiring of this starter of this vehicle, guys, is not really very complicated. So basically this one is automatic transmission. There is one relay connected in between the starter and the ignition switch. So this relay over here, so this relay, so this inhibit relay, this is the relay attached in between the starter and the ignition switch. So our starter is located on that area. So I already back probed the starter control wire, guys. The signal coming from the ignition switch. No, not ignition switch. The one that attached on the relay. But the relay is getting signal from the um, ignition switch, but the relay is being activated by the inhibitor switch of the automatic transmission selector gear. So I don't know whether you can see the back pin, guys. So it's somewhere there at the back. So see, that's the back pin, guys. See, I already put the back pin on that signal wire of the starter. So what I'm going to do, guys, using the bidirectional feature of this power probe, I'm going to supply positive voltage on that one, on that terminal. So it's supposed to start the starter. And also we're going to monitor whether there's a signal coming from the ignition switch. Okay guys, this power probe can sense what type of current or voltage that being tested. So if you put this one on the positive pole of the battery, see the red light and the tone, so it means it's positive. But if you put it into negative, the tone is different and the green light is lighting on, and at the same time you can tell the voltage, guys. So I'm going to turn off the speaker, guys, the volume, the sound. So that's off. So it's 12.33, and see the red light that's turning on. The red light, it means that it's measuring positive voltage. And on this side, you put the test probe into the negative, and see it reads 0, and it turns in light, and it lights on the negative LED, the green one. So it means that we're measuring the negative side of the battery. So using this one, we can identify whether there is a voltage coming from the ignition switch, and we can also test the starter by supplying voltage using the bidirectional feature of these tools. So see this one, guys, the switch. If I press it upward, the up portion of the switch, see the red light, it means I'm supplying positive voltage on the tip of the tools. If I press the bottom part of the switch, see the marking here there, negative. If I press this one, see the LED LED is on. It means I'm sending negative voltage on the tip of the tools. So let's check whether it's working. So the test light is connected on the negative side of the battery. So this is the negative part of the test light, and we are going to send positive voltage in here. So I'm going to press it. So the test light is turning on, releasing it, supplying positive. So I can use the tools to activate, to start the vehicle by supplying positive voltage on the tip of this one and attaching it on the control wire of the starter. Okay guys, I turn on the speaker of the uh, tools. So if there will be a positive signal that will go to the tip of the tools, it will make a sound and it will light up the red LED. See, there's a 12.3 volts. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to place the tools at the back probe uh, terminal of the signal wire of the starter. Then I'm going to turn on the ignition switch to start, and I want you to have a look whether these tools will send positive signal from the ignition switch. Start. So okay guys, this is our setup guys. What I did guys is I put an extension at the back of the uh, starter motor. So this wire, this green wire is attached on the signal wire of the starter. So the other end is attached on the power probe. So if we're going to turn the ignition on, we will monitor the signal from the ignition switch. The LED, the green LED is light on, so that indicates that our connection to the starter motor solenoid trigger terminal is connected properly. So it's finding ground to the uh, starter motor body. So once we turn the ignition on, this light will turn on. This is the red LED, and we're going to see that the voltage will be registered on the screen of the power probe. Okay guys, I'm going to start the vehicle. So I want you to have a look on the screen of the power probe and see whether we are having voltage coming from the ignition switch. Okay guys, I started the vehicle 3 times, but I don't know whether uh, there is a voltage going to the starter because I cannot see it. But right now I'm going to turn on the speaker, so I will be informed that there is a voltage coming from the ignition switch. Okay guys, as we can see on the test, there is a voltage being delivered on the starter motor. It's somewhere in I think 11.9, but the starter failed to start. So it means that there is something wrong internally on the starter motor. and I'm suspecting that there is something wrong with the uh, contact solenoid. You know, there's a solenoid at the top of the starter. So that solenoid is like a big, giant, huge relay. So the purpose of that one is to deliver the voltage to the main motor of the starter. So I think there's a problem with the contact point inside of it. So right now, just to confirm, we are going to supply directly voltage on the starter motor using the power probe. So once I press the switch, it should deliver 12 volts voltage on that tip, and this wire is connected to the trigger terminal socket of the starter motor. So let's test it, guys. So this 10.1 volts, see the red LED light on. So it means 12 volt at 10.1 volts it's being delivered to the starter, but the starter won't start. So that confirmed that there is something wrong with the starter motor. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to order the parts. So I'm going to order the repair kit for the solenoid at the top of the starter motor. So there's a available repair kit for that solenoid, guys. So once the parts arrive, we will continue this case study, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to pull out the starter of this Nissan X-Trail. So in order to pull out the starter, we need to remove some parts. So we need to remove this hose for the intake. So need to undo this clamp, remove all those clips for the cover of the air filter. So once we remove the air filter cover housing, we need to remove this sensor of the the socket of the mass airflow sensor, and also we need to remove this hose. And before removing all those things, we need to remove the battery negative, just to make sure that we will not have a short circuit if we are going to remove the starter, because the starter is located here on the top of the transmission. So there is a big cable there attached to the battery, guys. So to avoid any short circuit, any battery explosion, we need to remove the negative terminal of the battery. I will not show you how to dismantle parts by parts, guys, but as I shown you, those are the components that need to be removed before we can have access with the starter. Okay, guys, I have the new parts, guys, the new starter for this Nissan X-Trail. So I purchased an aftermarket starter. So this one is made in Australia, not made in China. So there is a little bit difference on this starter. As you can see, this starter solenoid is have a different terminal. This is the genuine one, and this is the aftermarket. So I'm gonna do a little bit modification on this one. So all I have to do on this one is to put a female terminal clip. Um, the problem of this starter, guys, is this solenoid. So what happened, guys, is once you supply electricity on this one, a voltage, it's supposed to contact these two terminal. So what's happening, guys, is the contact inside of this solenoid is already worn out. This starter solenoid, guys, is basically like giant relay, like a big relay. So if you're going to compare it on a standard Boss relay, it's like this one is 87 and this is terminal 30. This one is terminal 85, and the body of this one is terminal 86. So it's like a standard relay, and the only difference of this one is big, and this one have some kind of mechanism that will pull a lever inside, and that lever inside, guys, that's the one pushing out the gear towards the flywheel, so the gear will engage on the flywheel. So I tried to find starter solenoid, guys, but the problem is the cost of this starter solenoid is almost the same with the brand new aftermarket starter. So what, instead of buying after this part, I decided to buy the whole starter, guys. So it's more practical to buy the whole starter. Okay, guys, let's install the parts to the vehicle. By the way, on this starter, we need to get this bracket, this one. There's two 6mm bolt holding that bracket, so we need to reattach that one here. Okay, guys, our starter lives on that area, guys. See that big hole there? That's where the starter is mounted. So it's on the top of the transmission. So in order to have access with the starter motor, we need to remove the housing of the air filter. So this is the housing of the air filter. So it's connected this way. So the ducting of the air filter housing is attached on that bottom, so you just need to pull that one out. So there is rubber that holding the air filter housing. So see these two pointed part of the air filter housing. This one is inserted here. It's inserted here. So this one is helping to hold the air filter housing, and this one, so there is one screw holding here. See that whole guy? It's bolted on that threaded hole on the body of the vehicle. So you also need to remove the upper part of the air filter, because it's connected here in the throttle body. And there's another ducting here, guys, attached here. Attached here, guys, here. So let me get this part. So this one is attached here. So this is the intake ducting of the air filter. So this one, it's attached on the cover of the air filter housing. And you need also to remove this socket for the mass airflow sensor, and this breather hose or the PCB, sa positive cranking ventilation. Okay guys, I'm going to install now the starter. Okay guys, when you put back the starter, don't forget to reconnect this terminal, this big terminal, this guys, so attached there. So this one is attached directly to the battery positive. And never also forget this bracket that hold the harness. So always put it back to the holder, to the bracket. And because we have different terminal guys with the new starter, what I do is I put some kind of extension. So just an ordinary standard female terminal clip and male terminal clip. So I cannot put this one directly on that socket because the shape of the terminal is different from the one that attached on the starter. Okay guys, everything is put back together. So when you do this kind of job guys, especially those person who just doing the job by themselves but they are not a mechanic, I just want to remind you that once you remove this one, never turn on the ignition, because it will set up a fault code, and if you don't have the scan tools, you cannot erase the fault code. In this particular vehicle guys, I'm not sure whether if you remove one of the negative of the battery, you remove one of the terminal of the battery, for example the negative, and leave it for 1 minute, I'm not sure whether it will erase the fault code. But just to make sure, once you remove this mass airflow sensor socket, don't turn on the ignition, and always double check your works. Make sure everything is put back together, especially this clamp, also this one, and all the holder of the harness, this one and this one. About that guys, there is a clamp there guys. So that clamps guys, this one, that one, put them back together guys, and make sure also you put back this cable here. That's the one on the top of the starter. That's the bracket attached to the starter. It's holding the cable for the automatic transmission. Okay guys, let's start it and let's see the performance of the starter guys. Guys, no check engine. One more. One more. Guys, so our starter is working fine. So the problem, guys, is fixed. Okay, guys, I'm going to pack up everything, guys. Okay, guys, in this scenario, guys, we really don't need very expensive tools like scanner, because the wiring of this Nissan X-Trail, the wiring of the starting system is old school. So the starter is not operated by the BCM. So the component of the starting system is just the inhibitor switch, ignition switch, uh, relay, the standard relay, and the starter itself. So in this scenario, guys, we can just use the basic tools like the multi-tester and the test light, and also a jumper wire. So this one is very basic, not too complicated. So there's no need for oscilloscope on this one. What all we need to do is a test light and a little bit knowledge of the wiring. Okay, guys, if you like this video, guys, and you want more video like this, guys, please consider subscribing to our channel, guys. Please press that subscribe button. Please press the like button. Please press the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload the video. Okay, guys, see you on the future video. Ciao, bye bye.